and welcome to the In-Game Boss program, aka the podcast. I am your host, Jeremy, aka your retro activist, aka your In-Game Boss, aka the man with a sunny smile, because it's still nice out here in the summertime. Still a little hot, but the last couple of days it's been pretty cool. I've been working on going on my walks around kind of 8ish every evening. That's my thinking times. So, and I've been just walking around my complex one time. Sometimes I'll walk through the golf course now, because a lot of people are not golfing at that time. So I kind of just walk through, see how big the course is. I never really looked at the course. I never saw how big it is. Walked all around it, but never walked through it. And it's not like they're doing construction, so not everything's gated. So it's pretty.
just some random person just walking through the golf course.
Yeah, well, it's funny too, because when I was walking through it the other day, I was asking myself, I was like, they can't really question who lives here or doesn't live here, because you're leaving the gate wide open for anybody to come on this place and golf. So unless if I ever got pulled over by security, I would tell them well, I need you to check everybody else, because because you can't just come at me. But anyways, we got a guest. No, I'm just kidding. He's my co-host. I'm just kidding. Jaron, how you doing, man?
Hey, a.k.a. Evil of Aku, a.k.a. the Grumpy Bear, a.k.a. I don't know what you're talking about, feeling nice. It's hot as hell. And by the time this goes up, it's going to be triple-digit weather. So
hopefully people understand that as you use a background that has no sun and it's raining.
Oh, no, I'm just at the coffee shop. Coffee shop of cool people. Look at that cup of coffee, the steam rising off of that. Look at the rain. I'm writing the next great American novel. I'm looking down my nose at people on my overly expensive MacBook.
Before we start the show, I've been knowing me at my job where I work at. I like to ask people random questions, and one of the things I asked in one of my sessions, I've been asking everybody, how do people feel about fan base in general? Just the vague of fan base. Do you like fan base? Is there things that you do like or you don't like? And I got some interesting answers. Some were typical, the toxicity. People don't really like the toxic of it. I was like, yeah, of course. I think that's number one for everybody per se. Now, I'm not saying 100%. There's probably people there that like to instigate and start drama. There's just some people out there. They're called dicks. But you get people that which I'm not a big fan of, people gatekeep. Not a big fan of gatekeeping. That's just not the best ideas to do. But
they're just trash people.
Yeah. But one interesting thing we talked about was fan fiction, and we were my buddy was like, I don't get fan fiction. It's I just don't get why people would create this story that's not canon whatsoever, and it does nothing. And I guess I tend to agree with him, but my counter argument of that is what about those people that are just such diehards, or those people that do what ifs? I think that's what ifs come from. They're like fan fiction. There's just people making up stories of what if this happened, because sometimes people might not like something that the artist did, and they I think if they did this decision, this would have been a better story. So I think fan fiction exists in that way. But I never really got into fan fiction like that. I think if you put so much energy of making fan fiction, you might as well just go ahead and create your own story, make your own universe.
It's a fly buzzing me
in the cafe. No, not in the cafe.
Hey, apparently the fly's jealous. I'm out writing it. I fan bases, I'll just put it like this: fandom for especially a lot of pop culture, it is typically toxic, because they are. But the actual fans that truly love something, that actually love it and do wholesome stuff, I love that. I love the wholesome fan base that they want to cosplay, they make art inspired by. Fan fiction, I could take it or leave it. I personally don't care about it. Some people just get inspired, they want to see this character in this situation, or self-insert into whatever world that they're in, or of course what everybody's thinking about. see this character get together.
Yeah, hang on. Let's talk about that. Someone brought that to my attention about My Hero Academia, and they were talking about like, yeah, with that group, they say, yeah, I'm not a big fan of that fan base because they like to do shipping, and I'm like, what the hell is shipping? It was like I never heard of that term. Yeah, and I didn't get that. Like I think universally, if you went to a random person and say, yeah, they're shipping together, like, what you mean, like boats or something? Like that's,
yeah, random. Unless you went to SoonerCon, then any random person.
Yeah. But the funny part about it is that I think shipping is hilarious due to the South Park episode. If you ever seen the one where these Japanese girls, or for people that haven't seen the episode, Japanese girls wrote this manga based on Tweek and Craig, the two characters, and they decided to get together. Even though they're not gay, they decide to get together because that's what the fans want. So I thought that was pretty funny. Now, of course, that has nothing to do with My Hero Academia, because I think that episode idea came out way before that show, and I think shipping has to exist way before that by the sound of it. It just hasn't came out into the light until My Hero Academia kind of, I guess, brought it out a little bit more, per se.
I mean,
I never heard of it until that show, until people talked about
that. Shipping's been around long before that.
But is it? Now, but let me ask you this: is it one of those? It was named something else at the time. Was it always been called shipping? I never heard of that ever.
It's been shipping since I was in college in the early 2000s.
I have never heard of that term.
You've never heard of it before. It's been around, but it's around more because we have Twitter, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have various things where it allows any random person of sound mind and body or unsound mind and body to let their opinions be heard and take of that what you will, but shipping's been around for a long, fan fiction's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
But shipping, I tried to shed my negative feelings about it because I think shipping, my personal opinion, and this is going to probably piss some people off, I'll try and put some nuance on it. A lot of shipping is whatever. People want to see this character with that character. My problem comes when someone is projecting some stuff that they're probably working through onto whatever, and they are pushing it as if it's canon. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's in your head canon. That's head canon. Everybody has their own head canon. But when you start trying to rewrite what actually is there, it's a little annoying, and I start to tune out. But you know what? I'm a grumpy old bear.
Gotcha. So, a Nintendo Direct happened. A Nintendo partner showcase has happened.
Yes,
we haven't really
there.
Yeah, right. It's surprising because like everybody thought that, and I thought that we were going to get a traditional Nintendo Direct, and I guess like this is almost like a couple years ago where Nintendo was in that routine for a long time that they never had a full Direct in a very long time. It was just all these little minis for the longest time until we got an official one, and I think maybe this might happen again. But at least that like this showcase was a little interesting because like this was based on what's coming out this year and a couple of next year, even though in the videos that we're going to focus on games this year. And it's like, that's not true at all. But no, the showcase was interesting. It's only 25 minutes. I told you my sweet spot is about 45 minutes. Anything less it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
it's get in, get out,
Yeah. Some games, there were some surprise games in there, and then there were some games in there where it's like, well, it's about time. It's the whole just put it on Switch. Everything come to Switch. It doesn't matter. It don't have to be the best quality. Just throw it on the Switch. We'll make it work.
Throw it on Switch, recoup some money.
Yeah, I think The Witcher kind of showed that. Like, hey, Witcher's on here. Nah, there's no excuse for any of y'all. Just come on down here. You know.
What if I said many shows ago? If you can play The Witcher 3. No excuses.
Yep, Cyberpunk will be there soon. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it will be in the cloud.
Yeah. So before we talk about some of the games that shine to us, because we're not going to go down this whole list. It might happen. It depends what our picks shine to us. But let's talk about some games that definitely stood out that we have talked about previously. Let's talk about what the first one is. Let's talk about Sonic Frontiers. You and I had a discussion about how do we think Sonic Frontier is going to be. You were a little bit more optimistic than I was because you were hoping that this is not it. You're hoping that there is other places that Sonic will go. This is only just the beginning of what we saw. But then we also had the discussion is, did Sega do a good job demonstrating what this game is? And after seeing the Nintendo Direct do the trailer for it, I have to say no. Sega did a terrible job doing this because I believe that video should have been the first one they showed. And then showed us these clips of all these other places, per se. Because in this particular trailer, you got to see most of the stuff you saw beforehand, but finally you got to see other areas, hence this thing called cyberspace, which in a nutshell is just a place to go to another stage.
Yeah,
it was
Hub
World, basically. You seen that in Mario, and like in Mario 64, you've seen that before and everything in their definition of open zone.
I totally called it.
Yeah, so good job on that. But the question is, though, for you, did this satisfy you on the idea of cyberspace, or did you really want it more of, I wanted to see it and go there?
It would be nice if I could see it and go there, but considering how Sega has made previous Sonic games, that would not have been feasible with the way they design. So the fact that we're getting cyberspace and we get, open world-ish rendition of, Green Hill Zone or Emerald Hill Zone or whatever, along with other levels, it's good enough for me. I mean, it's not elevating Sonic Frontiers to a day one buy, of course, but I knew Sega wouldn't be that stupid to make the whole game one empty ass hub world looking zone, and yes, I concur. What they showed at the Direct should have been their first reveal of the gameplay. Mm-hmm. I like I said, I don't know who is on Sega's marketing team and who's smoking what crack, but
yeah, especially one of the developers quoted like, people just don't get it. Like, fans just don't get it. And it's like, we don't get it because you ain't showing us anything for us to understand, right? Or like, you kept showing us, you decided to show us the world, you should have showed us the fighting and stuff, and it's like, you should have like kind of tease a little bit of like what's to come in these other alternative things. Now, we did learn some information. There's another video that came out, and one of the developers from IGN kind of answered a lot of these questions that he remembered, because he said he played a lot of this stuff back in May, but he wasn't allowed to really go into details. And actually, by the time you listen to this, a lot of people that went to the showcase or went to that event to see those games are probably speaking more about it now as we speak. But you're looking at like each of these stages about like 11 or 12 minutes each one. So like per se for each areas. They said there's 2D ones. That there's some
of course.
Some I think he said that he said when he played the game that when you start the game you can just go wherever. It's not like pushing you to do this first and then they let you go. Like, you can go wherever you want to go. And he said that within the 4 hours that he played, he found these places, and his other buddy that also played it said he found some places that he didn't see. So it's kind of cool that there is, of course, some 3D ones, of course, and then there's some 2D ones that will be interesting to see. I like what I saw, but the problem is like what I liked what I saw, I wanted to be in that place. Like the cyberspace world, like I want to be in that world more than this hub world that we are in, and I wish that we saw that more on the outside. But with that being said, I'm glad that it did a good job of showing us what's to come, and hopefully there'll be some cool stuff, because not only that we got to see kind of like the Highway City and the Emerald Hill, but they mentioned there is like a Sky Sanctuary kind of style to it. So you might see a lot of games, a lot of stages that might represent some of the classics and some remix per se, maybe. And maybe some brand new ones. We don't know. But I hope that each one is worth it. And I hope this game does a good job of keeping us entertained, because because besides the stages, you get the the puzzles, kind of like Breath of the Wild, these little puzzles that you have to figure out and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, little adventure puzzles. Run around this, hit these four things.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
um, that's that's actually what the game needs to show more of, and the details of you can unlock and power up new Sonic abilities. I was like, cool. Let's show some progression, some growth, some reason to wander around this open zone and do stuff.
Hmm. Yeah,
So
and they also said the currency that you collect in that game can be used to perk some of your stuff up. So they're saying a lot of people had issues with the run. One of the players were talking about from IG, and he said that you get faster, and trust me, there's a difference. Like they said, like if you are, like for instance, they said the rings are there because if you have full rings, I believe, and I might be paraphrasing this, but if you have full rings, you can have Sonic at his best performance. And we've seen games like that. Like if you hold on to the max of something, like if you have max hearts or something, like for Zelda,
in
if you have max
Zelda,
hearts,
yeah,
you can shoot out a laser from your sword per se. You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
so we've seen that before. But for Sonic, I think they said you can become like a blue blur if you have your max rings that you are capable of having. And so,
I mean, it makes sense because maybe it's kind of blasé to constantly do the whole collect the Chaos Emerald, thing to unlock Supersonic. Maybe it's power up these skill trees to the max, and then you unlock Supersonic when you have X number of rings. That could be a little bit more interesting
yeah.
instead of interesting change to the gameplay loop instead of collect these 7 emeralds and then collect 50 rings and boom, supersonic.
Hmm.
So I like the idea. I
Yeah.
like the idea if they go that route.
And were you surprised how well that they demoed the Switch version? Were you very surprised? You thought it was going to be kind of like, kind of jittery or anything? Were you skeptical about how going into that?
I didn't think it was going to be jittery. At least we were going to see any jitter. Obviously, they could just show the best parts and then they deliver a jittery mess they have to patch after day one.
Hmm.
But I mean, my expectations for Switch get cross-platform games that look super gorgeous here, and then on Switch they look okay. And wow, this thing is buzzing me like a mofo.
Yeah.
The expectations are kind of, I'm not gonna say low, but I have my expectations appropriately placed.
Okay.
I'm sane.
Okay.
I'm sane.
Okay. Well, it's going to be.
What about you?
I was surprised. I mean, I think there's going to be pop-ups. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I think it'll look better probably on handheld mode instead of stock mode or TV mode.
Because of
So
the scaling of the resolution.
yeah, I think smaller
Yeah.
will make it look better. So hopefully it'll play off. I was actually pretty surprised. I thought that we were going to see some, but like you said, they probably just showed the best stuff that really worked for us. So I think closer to the date, there'll be a put up or shut up trailer for all consoles trailers to see how this game really stands, and they have to wow people. So like they're going to have to open that vault a little bit more and show us some other stages that this game is going to show, especially like showing some of the other characters that are going to be in this game, like Amy, Tails, Knuckles, what's Robotnik up to. They're really going to have to not. It's no more of this little by little tease drips. It's time to kind of like pull the curtain back and really wow us of what you're trying to sell us. So hopefully they'll pull that off.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing what they do. You know, it my expectations have been so up and down, like we talked about on one of the last shows, so up and down with Sonic games. It's just like, just give me a competent one and I'll be happy. A competently developed Sonic game. Start there.
Yeah.
Start there and be happy.
Yep. Speaking of fan base, when we talked about earlier about fan base, Persona is finally here after many people have been like demanding it or screaming for it. Screaming for it for the longest time.
Screaming's the right term.
Yeah, people have been screaming about it because it's been for the longest time. For the longest time, Atlas has been kind of kind of the reputation, kind of like Square Enix, where like PlayStation is going to be the home of your Final Fantasies and your Personas, like for the longest time. And now finally we're seeing it on Xbox, and we're all finally seeing it on Switch, where a lot of people said that, the Persona 4 and Persona 3 would have been perfect for Switch because, those games were both on Vitas and PSP, so it's nice to see them finally come on another handheld along with Persona 5. And the fact that I think a lot of people were upset that the fact that you went as far as bringing a character in the Smash Brothers that did not even touch the console yet, which is Joker. Like, he was a playable character with the longest tease of, like, are we getting a Persona? Then you double down on it, giving them strikers.
Yep.
And then now this finally comes, and it feels like it should be the other way around, right? It should be Persona 5 and then strikers. But we don't know what the deal was in the contract, or if there was any deal going on of how long Persona 5 was locked down on that. But it was. Yeah. But you have to remember, Persona 5 was locked down on that on PlayStation, on the PS3, then gets a Royal Edition, then finally brought it out. So that was crazy. Like how long it took.
I think it was a marketing ploy. Because think about it, everybody knows who's a Switch, Switch head fanboy knows who Joker is because of blah 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 on Smash, and now boom, Persona 5 Royal. It's like, I can play that on the Switch. Let me go buy it. More people know who owns Switches know who Joker is now. Because you put him in a game where more people are going to buy. I mean, that's bottom line. More people are going to buy Smash Brothers than they are a Persona game. Mm-hmm. So you're getting exposure to a wider audience earlier.
Right. But I think we're going to see the results after this game comes out to see if you are correct, right? We'll have to see if it's a put up or shut up, or this marketing idea work for them. And if it doesn't, then it's just more like, well, they're lazy. Anyways, because when Claude got announced on Smash Brothers, they're like, there's never been a Final Fantasy, and there's the classic Final Fantasy 7 on there. So it's on the console. We didn't say which one, but we put it on there. So
no, don't worry about it. Are we gonna get remade? No.
Yep. And it was the same thing with Kingdom Hearts, right? And then when finally Sora came, then we get the cloud versions. So that's
yeah. It's like, hope you got good internet.
But we put them on there. So you can't say that not every character's been on the console now.
That's like malicious compliance. It's like we gave it to you. You just didn't specify how you wanted it.
But I think too, on top of that I feel like they had to bring 4 and 3 with it to kind of make up for 5 coming, right? Because I think a lot of people I think you and I both know, like, if 5 just came out alone, people would scream for 4. Then the people would scream for 3. And so it's better to like, look, we're just gonna get it all out here. Everybody's caught up. We're out. So
I mean, not to mention, it was probably too much to ask if they did it in one whole collection because of how big the games are. But it is nice that that at least Persona 3 Portable, if someone wanted to play it, up until recently, you had to spend some money to get the original to play it on PSP hardware. Mm-hmm. So the fact that you could just wait and get it on your Switch and just play it is awesome. Now, I don't plan on getting it, but I kind of hope they do a physical release because they could do some really fun stuff with the packaging. Like if you get all 3 games, the spines together make like an image or something.
That'd be kind of cool. Yeah. That'd be cool. Yeah.
I mean, Atlas could really have some fun with the packaging of games if they wanted to.
Mm-hmm. I might even double because I haven't even touched my Royal Edition yet, but I might.
Same here.
I might buy it again for the Switch edition because I think I'm going to really like Persona 5 when I finally get to it, and I would like to support it to kind of show that I think Persona is a good home for Nintendo, but I would like to see out of Nintendo and Xbox which one, because Xbox fans always want more Japanese RPG games over there, so I want to see what their put up or shut up is over there compared to Nintendo, because Nintendo, they kind of show that fans really want these games on there. Well, sorry, not Persona, but games that people been wanting on that console, I think has shown great results that people have been wanting those games on there, per se. So, but
I will tell you this. Speaking of Xbox in Japan, recently news came out that the Xbox Series
Yup.
console is outselling the PS5 in Japan.
Just don't get it's a little victory. It's a little victory.
It's still more. It's
No.
still more. I mean that, and some people say, "Oh well, it's just supply issues." Like, no, 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 no. This goes to show that they have been working to be a presence in Japan.
Yeah, it's not so much of the competition. It's more of them just, hey, they kind of acknowledge us.
Yeah, and the fact that it's becoming more feasible to, because you have the Xbox Series S, it's smaller, and rumor has it that there's going to be another Xbox that's even smaller and is complete cloud, just cloud. You just
I heard about that too. Yeah.
So if they can get that going and really get a foothold in Japan, that's the thing. Smaller is better. Smaller and get it in homes. I like to see the competition, and I like to see what doors Microsoft being successful in Japan would open.
What do you think it would be possible for them to do a cloud-based handheld?
Technically, they already have that.
Well, you have the cloud gaming, right? You could do it on your phone and stuff like that. So but I don't see them marketing pushing that towards Japan, because Japan is popular with portability, right? Portable is their thing. So I'm not seeing them pushing that even further. But like a handheld portable could work, maybe a little bit cheaper than a Steam.
It would have to be much, much cheaper than a Steam Deck, and it would have to be pretty badass if it's just going to be a cloud portable device. I mean, cloud portable device. What are we foregoing? No storage. It has to have beefy, like, good Wi-Fi.
Maybe okay. So let me take that back.
Or no storage beyond 16 gig or 32 gig flash storage.
Okay. All right.
So, it would have to be really, because like you said, Japan is really portable, and they aren't on their phones a lot. So what would the portable bring that would get them to be off their phones?
Well, it'd be the same thing as Switch, right? I mean,
yeah, but Switch has got that Nintendo pedigree behind it.
Well, I know. I'm just saying that, like, if we're just talking about just handheld in general, they can talk on the phone and play a game at the same time. The rest is them. What are they going to push to get people to buy that product, right? So it's not so much the problem of they can't do two things at once. It's more of what do they have? Yeah, what did they have that would be appetizing? And it's the Game Pass, right? The Game Pass has to be robust, which that means they have to work on getting more Japanese developers involved.
Yeah. Here's what you do. You get an exclusive Dragon Quest game and put it on Game Pass. Boom. There you go.
Well, hell, to tell you the truth, dude, just an exclusive Square Enix game in general, because they never, based on my recollection, they never had, well, they had one. They had one exclusive Square Enix game on there, and that's Infinite Undiscoveries, I want to say, is the only exclusive.
Was it Square Enix?
Yes, I believe so. Okay, it was made by Tri-Ace. I know Tri-Ace because I play a lot of Tri-Ace games, and I told you how I feel about them. So, yeah. Infinite Undiscoveries.
You're right. It was published by Xbox Game Studios in coordination with Square Enix and developed by Tri-Ace. So, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I think that's their only Square Enix exclusive game on an Xbox console in general. So, having another one would be great. I don't think a Dragon Quest exclusive would happen, like a spin-off series or anything like that.
But if we're wrong, ladies and gentlemen, feel free to correct us. Yep. In your well-acted.
Yeah, please. I would like to know what other exclusive, because remember, Blue Dragon and Lost Odyssey are not Square Enix games. So.
No, they just were worked on by Square Enix and former Square Enix employees.
Mm-hmm. Well, both of those games were made by the studio's Mistwalkers. Those two games belong to those two, but I can't think of they never had an exclusive Final Fantasy game.
Well,
not even not exclusive. At least not like. So let me rephrase this. So for Nintendo, I feel like they have their own Square Enix series of their own, right? That's like the Bravely Defaults. Like their own private series that you don't see on anything else. It was Octopath Traveler, we thought, until PC. But now it made it on Game Pass at one time. So that's nothing.
It was Crystal Chronicles until they released that on PS4.
But what I'm getting at is that was still under the Final Fantasy umbrella, which I would think if Xbox were going to get it, it had to be something in that form, right? It's not traditionally the main Final Fantasy. Is their own special Final Fantasy series for that universe that's Xbox, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. That could be very interesting. I only went to Dragon Quest because Dragon Quest is one of, if not the most popular RPG series in Japan. Like, it outpaces Final Fantasy.
No, you're 100% right. The only argument I have is the only counter argument I have is that game has always been multi-platform after the PS2. After the PS2, it has now been multi-platform.
And it can stay multi-platform, just, timed exclusive. Wink, wink.
Or
give us a year with it. Wink, wink.
Or they could do the same thing with Nintendo. Like, during that weird time when Square Enix would never put the main titles on Nintendo, but they would get all the little spin-offs from that series per se. I mean, so yeah, maybe a special Dragon Quest spin-off story or its own thing. The same thing you could do with Xbox. I mean, remember Dragon Quest Swords? That was a Wii game. That ain't come around anymore.
I mean, Dragon Quest Treasures, which was shown at the partner showcase.
Because the DS and the 3DS, they had a lot of Dragon Quest games.
Yeah, no, it did. It did.
And we have one main entry, and then the remasters or remakes of the classic ones, 7 and 8.
Yeah, 6, actually 5, 6, 7.
Sorry. You're right. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. So
and 9.
9 was the newest one at that time.
9 was the newest one. Yes.
Yeah.
It didn't release on a different platform, so I retract that.
Yeah.
But yes, that is true.
Now, we are spinning off totally double screening.
Yeah, I was trying to bring us back with Treasures on the direct.
Sorry. I'll leave this last one and we got to move on. Is if they got X, that's a different story. If they got Dragon Quest X, Dragon Quest 10,
the online one
on Xbox exclusive, like they did with Phantasy Star 2, for now,
that would be interesting.
They could have a banger on them. They'd be banging on them.
That would be interesting.
So those are the two major series that two major ones that I think kind of shot out. The Sonic and the Personas. So finally everybody got it. We can move on until Atlas decides to pick another exclusive thing from PlayStation, and then 5 years later it'll come out to everything else. So let's talk about some highlights. We could talk about like 3 or 4, whatever. How many you feel like deserves a shout out? And I want to go first. There is a game I immediately saw that was like, that is a Jaron game, and I actually am really excited for this game too. 'Cause I'm like, you know what? It never been my jam for these type of game, but the fact that there's a story and the world's in your hands, and seeing Square Enix do this game kind of style, because they don't really do this style, and that's Harvestella.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I knew it. I told you. No, it looks really good. It's exclusive for Nintendo Switch right now. And it's coming out like, I think October 6th or November 6th, one of those dates. And I actually was intrigued by it. I thought it was like, oh, okay. Yeah. I'm not a big gardening person, but I'm like, maybe this might be the game that might me get into kind of harvesting. Because, this bad thing, which I forgot what it's called. It's a silly name, what they called it. It's coming to like the end of the world kind of thing. But I like what they were showing in the trailer. I'm excited for it. I might literally pick this up. I'm thinking day one. But I think this would be a nice game to kind of just sit back and chill. Because I don't know why. Stardew Valley didn't appeal to me. The Harvest Moon didn't appeal to me. But
was it the graphics? Because this looks like...
No, because you know me. I play a lot of indie games and 2D games like that. Didn't bother me at all. I think it's because, like, that was it to me. Like, there was nothing else on top of that. So, like, now that the fact that, like, you're a farmer or a harvest person and the world's in your hands, and you guys say the word, like, okay... I can do half and half, and the fighting looks cool. Like, it's really like fighting. It's not like cheesy, like turn-based.
Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest.
Yeah, it looks really cool. Does this interest you at all? Does this intrigue you at all? Or am I the only one that's going on this quest to harvest?
I mean, the idea of you got to go kill God, but then be back in time to water your crops. It's definitely a different twist. I will pay attention as much as I can. It's not a day one because I mean there's something relaxing about Stardew Valley. That's the reason why I like it. It's so chill. This definitely would scratch an itch if I wanted to play Stardew and Dragon Quest. Apparently,
Okay.
it does look fun. It looks fun. I'm not going to take that away from you. It does look fun. I am curious, so we'll wait and see.
I think it's interesting too that Square Enix has been in this weird situation where like, well, how many games are you guys working on over there? Because it's like this came out of nowhere. Like how many people are working there right now? Like Final Fantasy 6 got announced. You got part 2 of Final Fantasy 7 coming out. You got all this Dragon Quest crap you coming out. Like, where did this creep in? Where did this creep in?
That's good. They're experimenting. They're actually experimenting.
Yeah.
Remember back in the 90s when Square before they merged Square Enix said, you know what? Who's got ideas? Let's try some stuff. Try some stuff. Screw it. Let's try things.
I miss those times. Because like I love when developers, that shows like they're doing really well for themselves. That, you know, but I'll tell you this: if this is what we're gonna get for the payoff of them selling off Crystal Dynamic, I'm down with it.
Yeah.
If this gives them extra money to do weird ideas like this, so it almost feels like why didn't they do this kind of game before, right? Like they should have done something like this before.
Well, I will say I'm not that I'm tired of Stardew Valley like games. But I do like one thing that just does intrigue me, the fact that it's doing a little bit of flavor of the Stardew Valley or the Harvest Moon, but it's using, this sounds very snobbish, prettier graphics. It's not doing the faux retro 8-bit or 16-bit attempt anymore. It's saying, you know what, we can make this look pretty and make it deep. Let's do it. Mm-hmm. Not saying one is better than the other. I just like the change of pace.
Yep. Okay.
Sometimes I like 7-Up. Sometimes I like ginger ale.
Watch out, Nintendo. We're going to get Link and the Triforce of Gardens.
if there's another game that Nintendo could pull off and make... They did crossbow training, damn it. Why not?
Yeah, right. What stood out to you?
I am going to say... Blanc.
Ah, that's another exclusive for them. Yeah.
Blanc, for those who aren't aware of it, I'll give you a 2-sentence summary. 2-player game, a deer or a doe, whatever, and a baby or a puppy wolf cub. And you work together to solve puzzles. Mm-hmm. That's the whole damn thing, and I guarantee you it's going to tug at your heartstrings because somebody's probably got to die or something like that.
Yeah, because like
brother.
Yeah, because to go into more details, one is in black and white, which is pretty cool, and two, I believe I'm correct, it's kind of the deer raising this kid. Like he found it abandoned.
And there's no text at all. It is complete. Yeah. It is complete show, no tell. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it kind of reminds you of like Limbo or Inside Out, whereas like no dialogue, figure it out kind of say.
Yeah, and this is one of those where if I don't buy it for me to play, I will probably get it for Brandy.
Okay.
And then it's on the Switch, so you can do 2-player on the same screen. So who knows?
Okay. Right on.
No, that's mine. What about you?
Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope. This game didn't get talked about for a whole year after it announced. I'm glad they brought it back up because it was supposed to come out. It's supposed to come out this year. It looks good. I'm intrigued how the freedom space that they're trying to work on. So they kind of took away the XCOM kind of checkerboard where you pick your section and you go. It's more like you can freely do what you want and then go to your place. And so I want to see if that's going to make or break that game to the point where like, are you going to be too powerful or the enemies are going to be too powerful because of this freedom? I don't know. The idea is hard to comprehend until you get your hands on it. I like the surprise that Bowser is coming into this game. Which
Why not?
Which,
Yeah,
but which by the way, I feel like the rabbit, the rock and roll rabbit, kind of reminds me of Bowser, anyways. So I thought maybe that's like a reference to that. But yeah, but like you said, why not? I mean, this is not the first time Bowser has been an ally. It hasn't been an ally. I mean, he was an ally for you in Super Mario RPG. So
Yes. In Super Mario RPG, you had Mario and Luigi. I think
Superstar.
Bowser's Inside Story.
Mm-hmm.
I like it, and I like the attempt to change the movement system on its head, because there are a lot of games that are kind of doing that XCOM style. So the fact that they're saying you can move around and do whatever abilities related to movement that you want, your turn ends once you attack. And that opens up a lot of different strategies. And I look forward to seeing, like you're saying, does it make you too strong? Does it make you form too strong strategies? Are they going to change the enemy abilities or the balance so you don't railroad them? It looks like there are a lot of environmental effects. You can, kick off a bomb and then throw it and set off some things and then attack. I like that, and I can't say I'm going to get it because I still have to finish Kingdom Battle.
Yeah, dude, you need to finish it.
It is something that I would enjoy playing.
You need to finish that Kingdom Battle. That would be, yeah.
So this gets a Grumpy Bear thumbs up.
Okay. Okay. Your turn.
I may not personally get it, but Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection. I like that they are putting this out. Obviously, it's not a surprise considering all the other Mega Man stuff that they put out, legacy collections that they put out. But I like that they are getting all of the old Mega Man stuff, bringing it forward and putting it out there. All the DS, I think DS and 3DS Battle Network games. I've never played a single one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but I like that it's available.
I think the only one that's not on there, and I can understand why. There was a GameCube edition of Battle Network, and I understand why that's not on there.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that were GameCube, or a lot of GameCube games that they're just going to stay GameCube games, apparently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. No, I think it's one of those it's about time kind of thing, because like you said, like we had every kind of legacy collection. I mean, hell, we had the Zeros collection.
Yeah,
we had
the NX. Yeah,
we had that one, and of course the main one, the X series alone. So it was about time, because this was a franchise that was locked in the handheld world for the longest time. So it's about time finally that we got. And I think it's a pretty big collection as entry of games. More than, I think, isn't there more than actually like the regular Mega Man?
I don't think there's more than that, but it's up there.
Because that's a 10.
Yeah, I think the Mega Man. If you're talking about the newer Mega Man collection,
11. Sorry, no. You might be right, because like the newest one, 11, came out. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, So Mega Man, Mega Man X, Mega Man NX. I think you had the bass and treble, because there were games with those two in there. Yeah. So there's no excuse not to be able to play. Unless you're looking for Mega Man Soccer. Any of the Mega Man games you want to play.
Yeah,
I swear I'm about to go find a fly swatter.
But like you said, and I agree, I never really got into Battle Network. I played one, I liked it at the time, but it's a lot of car collecting.
Yeah,
and I think car collecting or car games were not interesting to me at the time. I don't think they're interesting right now to me, but I think now is a good time. Well, I was saying now for people, since car games are kind of becoming a huge thing now. Maybe Battle Network is a good time. Maybe people can play with the classic ones that were kind of like. And there was a cartoon. A cartoon.
That is true. It was a cartoon that came out within the last 15 years, I think. Mm-hmm. So there is an audience for it. Yeah. There's an audience. They're going to be older teenagers or young 20-somethings. So I can't be mad. I can't hate. But that was mine.
So there was a demo out for Live Alive, and I talked about on the show that I was pretty excited to play it. I haven't had a chance to play the demo yet, but that's one of the things I'm pretty excited, because it comes out, I think, like in a couple of days. per se. I think it comes out like the first week or second week of July, so it's around the corner.
Nice. And your
Yes.
progress from the demo goes to the game.
Yeah, so I honestly want to see what it looks like because the 2D HD thing is just an awesome looking idea. And I want to do an episode of games we want to see get that treatment and to see how it works. I think that'd be a fun conversation because like the
remakes or new entries.
Well, most of our new entries would be too tough because then we have to make up an idea in our head. I'm talking about like games that could come back and get that treatment. So because the last one they announced was Dragon Quest 3 will be in that treatment.
Huh.
So, yeah. Yeah. And there's a teaser for it. You can look up the teaser. There's a little teaser for it.
Yeah. I want Soul Blazer 2D HD.
We'll do an episode about that. Maybe we'll do that on our next episode. We'll do that on our next episode.
Square Enix, you got the property. You can do it.
Yeah, but no, it looks good. Especially this is the first time this game is coming to America after over 30 years since on the Super Nintendo. So I'm excited to see where this goes. Also, if I want to add one, Super Mario RPG will be a great one for that. Anyways.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Anyways. And you were giving me some crap about Golden Axe.
Anyways.
Okay, I'm going to,
Yeah. But no, it looks good. Do that interest you at all? Are you going to try out the demo?
I might try the demo. I'm not going to lie. I am having a hard time getting back into triangle strategy. So, Live Alive looks like it could be fun. And the demo is, no cost. So I may give that a try when I have some days off.
Okay. All right.
I know you're going to add it to your backlog.
Yup. Yup.
I will say a quick mention. I will go ahead to return to Monkey Island. I like Monkey Island games. We were talking about it earlier. Monkey Island. I like the Monkey Island games. They weren't your cup of tea. Mm-hmm. The point and click adventures before they went insane. They graduated to Telltale. I loved the absurdity of The Secret of Monkey Island. I played it on the Sega CD, and I didn't even realize there were more Monkey Island games after that. But I played it on the Sega CD, and it's just crazy. The thing you found a gripe for of you can't use regular logic. You have to use almost cartoon logic. That you didn't like. I kind of liked. Mm-hmm. I mean, there was frustrating. It's like, okay, I'm stuck here. What the hell do you mean? I use a Q-tip. Okay, yeah. I use a Q-tip to open this up. So I'm down for Return to Monkey Island, and Ron Gilbert and that whole team. They make very funny, humorous games, clever games. And the foofara, the rough and tumble about the art style. Yeah, I'm glad that they went silent because honestly, fans suck, and they don't know what they want until you give it to them sometimes. Mm-hmm. So the art style looks fine to me. The only people who are complaining about that are folks who haven't seen the other Monkey Island games. So, would you even be tempted to just take a sip of Return to Monkey Island if there was a demo?
No.
not even just a little bit. Not even like, oh, well, this is a quick download.
No. I feel like that playing this one makes me, if I liked it, I want to go back and play with the other ones, and I just don't want to start that voyage at all.
Luckily, as of the time of recording, the collection is on sale on Steam for $8. Pay me, Ron.
No, like you hit the nail on the head. Like, at the time when I played it, because the first time I played it was on PS2, and I think it's Escape the Monkey Island, and yeah, I like puzzle games, but the way you had to do that game was just not comprehending what my mind is. Now, granted, if I played it now, I could probably maybe figure it out now compared to that, but it just left a bad image in my head that is just like, I just had no interest in playing this game. And Monkey Island was never really a big console series. It was mostly on PC. So
Yeah.
finding those copies of where that voyage goes to on consoles would just be damn near impossible. Honestly, I could argue maybe there's only like maybe 1 or 2 on the consoles back at that time. Like
They did enhanced editions on Xbox Live on
Oh, okay.
360. So you
Oh,
can
okay,
play
okay,
the first
okay.
2 enhanced.
Okay, I didn't know that. So with that being said, totally, you could tell that I had no interest in it whatsoever. I think if you played it and you really told me that, Jeremy, this is a lot easier than you think it is, maybe I consider it, but I wouldn't be looking out for it.
Yeah. I mean, if you were that curious, you could probably just watch me play it on Twitch.
Yeah, I might do it that way.
Ooh, actually, I think I might get back into streaming and just start playing the Monkey Island games on Twitch.
Why not, dude? Why not? I mean, you love that series, so yeah, do it. Yeah.
It's fun. It's low pressure. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I think I'll do one more because there are some other ones that intrigue me, but this one, okay. So I wanted to try this game. I wanted to play this game because it was so freaking weird. It was announced on Xbox on their showcase, and after that, it went radio silent for many years, and then it just kind of did a stealth drop. It just came out. It's on Game Pass right now. You can buy it on Xbox Store or whatever, but that is the RPG time, The Legend of Wright. And it's that game where it looks like a kid is making an RPG in his school, like in cutouts and all that kind of stuff. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, it's all hand-drawn and everything. The music sounds like Dragon Quest. When you hear it, the music sounds like Dragon Quest.
I'm trying to think, mentally place it.
But it's like a kid opening up a book. There's cutouts everywhere. Hand-drawn, everything like that. Yeah.
Yeah, The Legend of Wright, and it looks like it's going back, it's mixing a bit of the early 90s with...
Yeah, it looks like, if you're in class and you want to make your own adventures, you used to draw your characters, you would make what your buttons look like and everything like that in the kids' room. The reason I want to play this game, because I want to know, how do you play this game? That's mainly why I want to play. I'm like, how do you play this game? Because the game does not do a good job of telling you what you do. Like, do you level up? Is it just a main one story? Is it just called RPG time because it just feels like it's RPG time, but it's not really an RPG. It's just more of like, it's role-playing time.
Or is it like RPG Maker where you kind of construct and then...
Right. Because one thing you can tell from the trailer, it's a bunch of mini games. We can tell that 100%. Because different things you have to do is like mini games and everything like that. But you don't see anything that has to do with a turn base. You don't see anything where like certain characters, your main character, Wright, is doing something where you pick and decide what he does. It feels like there are mini games that you do to help him get through this voyage of this story. That could be a QTE. It could be a QTE. It could be like MFV, just a story that just keeps going, and you're playing mini games to help get that story across. There's a lot of options, but I don't know because this game is so hard to describe what it is, and I just want to try it.
It looks like it's a mixture of Wario minigames, Wario-style minigames with a visual novel.
Mm-hmm.
So, because you mentioned turn-based, there was in the trailer, there's a kind of like a turn-based battle, but it didn't look like, a high-stakes one.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if it was a little bit of all of that, and say, hey, you know what? Short attention span, we got you.
And I think this game will be a better home for Switch, because like I told you, did you know this game was announced at Xbox at one point?
Not at freaking all.
Yeah, it's not one of those, and it wasn't like it wasn't one of those quick reels where they just show a bunch of things. No, it actually had its own video on its own trailer on that thing, and it just went silent. No one knew what happened to it, and then I just been keeping an eye on it, and then like last year it just came out, and it came on Game Pass, and that's it. So if you have Game Pass right now, you can go give this game a try, but if you don't, maybe hopefully there might be, if they were smart, I would like to see them do a demo on this, but at the same time I don't know how you would do a demo for this game. I don't know.
Right?
I don't know.
It's like, what, are you just going to play like 2 or 3 mini games? And
the
gameplay loop makes it non-conducive to a proper demo.
So I want to play the game. I don't want to buy it day one at full price. I would like to buy this on a sale, because this game can be a game where it looks cool on paper, literally, but it might not be as fun as I think it is. Because also, too,
Yeah.
there's not a lot of people reviewing this game. So maybe this Switch version will get a lot of people coming out of the woodworks to do a review for this game so I can hear more opinions of what they tell me what they think this game is before I want to invest my time. Because it might be a gem. It might be one of those gems that people totally might just slip through the cracks. And it might be a great game than it should be. The only reason why I also stand out, because the music sounds like Dragon Quest. Like that first beginning music sounds like Dragon Quest, hands down. It's almost like, did they copy this? It's very on the nose of Dragon Quest music.
They could touch a little bit of that. Maybe that's not all the music. Maybe the music changes depending on what you're doing. You know, maybe they're like, oh, we'll take a little from Dragon Quest and from Final Fantasy and from an Atlas game, and you know, it would be funny if there's like we got I can't remember his name. Worked on Undertale.
Oh, Toby Fox.
I can't want to say Rick Fox, but that's a former basketball player. Yes, Toby Fox. That would be funny if they got him to work on some music, you know, for it. But I agree. It looks interesting. Not a day one. Thank you for mentioning that it's on Game Pass. So it's something that when I invent some additional time to play games, I will have to try. Let's face it, Jeremy, we're getting older. There's so many games that are just coming out every week.
Yeah, it's almost like as my life is right now is if I to invest to be all my games, I probably have to be on vacation and do nothing except play games, because like I have my projects and everything like that, but that is taking up a lot of my time instead of playing these video games where I can only put about maybe 5 hours in a week to play these games, especially
right.
RPGs.
That's barely enough to scratch the surface.
Yeah. So, you know, sometimes I always ask myself, like, should I stop playing RPG games? But I can't. I love RPG games too much. But, you know,
fun.
Yeah, but I think that now I have to really give up on this or wait till I retire to like play all these games off of my retirement. Just like, all right, I'm 7 gens behind, but I got plenty of time now. Let's see where this goes.
70 years old, you're like, oh, put this shit on easy mode.
Yeah, every game will be Monkey Island to me after that. Like, every game is 70 playing again. Like, I don't understand Final Fantasy. It's like Monkey Island over again. What the hell's the Phoenix down?
Phoenix down? What? Where's the Phoenix up?
Right. Yeah. Why is everybody taking turns? Actually, action game will probably be like, everybody slow down. These combos are going too quick. One slash at a time, please. Anyways.
Yeah. I was about to say, better cut it off in Final Fantasy X then.
Yeah. Any other final game you want to announce before we wrap this episode up?
You know, the Portal Companion Collection's cute. I think it's good to bring it out to a new generation of kids who may have only heard about it in passing. We might see The Cake is a Lie rise to prominence in memes again, but it doesn't look like I didn't see anything that it knew that it was bringing that you couldn't already get already. So, but it is cool that it's coming to the Switch. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. It was a nice compact direct.
Yeah, shout out to Nier Automata. I'm glad that it's another Platinum game hitting Nintendo, because I think that game will work really well on the handheld and see where it does. Especially they said they're getting special costumes that no other game is getting, which is like, if anytime I hear that, it's like, well, it better be like a Nintendo costume, right? Like does 2B get a Princess Toadstool or a Rosalina? Or Rosalina would be pretty cool.
Well, they say it's exclusive, so I mean they could go ham. They could do Link. They could do Samus. They could do they could
because it wouldn't be the first time they did that, because Bayonetta got the same treatment. So so it'd be kind of cool to see what it is when I see pictures of it and whatnot. But shout out to them. That's another Platinum game hitting Nintendo. And
always good.
Yeah, and it's nice that we're seeing Square and Nintendo slowly getting better and better and better. Now they're not going to get your main like biggest hits, but at least you're getting some of these personal like own little series coming in Nintendo. So, you know, because right now the Harvestella, it's only Nintendo and PC. So if this does well, maybe that's another exclusive series that can be for them. I don't know. We'll have to find out.
I think more and more companies are realizing, hey, PC is still very viable. I mean, got PlayStation games going more and more to PC faster and faster. Nintendo, we're not going to see any of their first party games.
No.
But yeah, that's not going to happen.
No.
But Nintendo is not, trying to hog all the third party games because they can. So it's good to see PC getting a lot of love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. With that being said, I want to thank everybody for listening to this episode. As you know, we're part of the In-Game Boss program, Network Gaming, and other variety shows. Please check out some of our other games that we talk about for the summer of gaming. Some of the like Final Fantasy VII, our first initial thoughts of Sonic Frontiers. We our State of Play, our Xbox One. Check them all out. Leave your comments, your opinions. Let us know what you thought below. Tell us what you thought about this Direct. Is there anything that you are excited about? Are you excited to see what Nintendo has been hiding behind the curtain when they bring out their original Nintendo Direct? What are the predictions? Because so far, all we know is Xenoblade is around the corner and Splatoon is right after it. So we don't know anything. And there's been a lot of rumors. There's been a $40,000 investment for F-Zero. That's not a rumor. That's true, and it's not going to happen. You have the Metroid Prime coming back into the surface again of a trilogy.
Oh yeah, remaster.
It's sparking high. People are like really getting rumbled up again about this after they talked about it like months ago. Maybe Metroid Prime 4 might make a show.
Star Fox.
Maybe Star Fox someday. Maybe Zero. Maybe ReZero or something like that will come back into that.
Zeroed out. Star Fox zeroed out.
Breath of the Wild, we might see some more stuff from there. Maybe Advanced War will finally get a concrete date and actually stick with it. Poor Advanced Wars. I mean, it's not their fault. It's just
they know people are going to play it when it comes out.
Yeah, it's just bad timing for Advanced Wars.
Yeah.
And Nintendo tries to be very in their own way respectable of like war. Remove anything with the word war in it. We're not doing it right now. So
I will say. That's the great thing about Nintendo Directs, the anticipation of what will they announce, because they are so good at holding so many things close to the chest.
Right. Right. Good for them.
I'm not excusing their practices as a company, but their ninjas keep things secret. Mm-hmm. And when they throw a surprise at you, you are surprised. So I will give them their props.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see what that is.
Maybe a new Pikmin. Who knows?
Pikmin 4 has been talked about for so long. If you want to find us personally, you can find me at RetroAmp07 on Twitter. I have a link down below, along with...
You can find me at TheGrumpyBear84 on Twitter. Watch all my hot takes. They're piping hot.
You've been at it. I've been seeing your comments everywhere.
Oh yeah, I'm getting into Twitter fights, getting blocked by people. I don't care. Come at me.
And with that, we will catch you on our next episode. Stage clear. Let's go.
New high score, 16 bits.